Connecticut's #1 local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday morning. I'm Wendell Edwards. We're on top of several important stories. First up, gas prices. We can tell you Channel 3 is on pump patrol this morning. The national average has dropped a minuscule amount to $4.94 a gallon this morning. The Connecticut average price has dropped by 2 cents to $4.90 this morning. And President Biden is pushing for a pause on the federal gas tax holiday. Now, remember, we already have a state gas tax holiday here in Connecticut. But lawmakers and experts aren't convinced the idea of this federal gas tax holiday will save people that much money. Channel 3 Eyewitnesses reporter Audrey Russo is live in Hartford to further explain. Audrey.
Wendell, good morning. That's right. It's really a mix of whether or not what works on the state level could work on the national level. Of course, when Connecticut's state gas tax holiday went into effect, all of us felt a little bit of relief. But now as prices are inching back up, there's concern that a similar move on the federal level wouldn't save drivers as much money. And here's why. The proposal is a 3-month pause on the federal gas tax of 18 cents per gallon, but that would only apply to businesses. So there's a lot of question as to whether or not gas stations, gas companies would actually pass those savings on to consumers because they're really not obligated to do so. That's something that lawmakers on both sides of the aisle that's something they're concerned about, frankly, at this point.
If we could get states to join and if oil companies and refineries to pass on those cost savings to consumers.
We have a supply problem that needs to be dealt with if you want to get prices down.
Now, what would really help would be if there was the federal gas tax pause working in conjunction with state level gas tax pauses in all 50 states. Right now, Connecticut is only one of a handful of states that's actually implemented a law like that. And a lot of states are really concerned about implementing one of their own because they don't want to lose those dollars that are so often tied to infrastructure investments and improvements. So obviously there's a lot that lawmakers have to weigh here. There's a lot of concern as to whether or not Biden's plan will be put into effect, but we're going to continue to keep you updated, and you can always tune into the Channel 3 app for more information. Live in Hartford, Audrey Russo for Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Audrey, thank you. On top of this, the Federal Reserve Chair is warning any more interest rate hikes could lead to a recession. Chairman Jerome Powell conceded before a U.S. Senate banking hearing yesterday. More hikes could be on the way, but that won't solve two of the biggest problems many families are facing, those high gas prices and the grocery bill.
We understand the hardship that high inflation is causing. We are strongly committed to bringing inflation back down.
The Fed has raised interest rates several times this year to help tame the highest inflation in 40 years. A live look at the TPC River Highlands in Cromwell this morning. Round 1 of the Travelers Championship just started. The tournament is back to full capacity this year, welcoming back as many fans as possible. And organizers tell us it's making a big difference already.
I think you can already feel the energy. It's not just in the golf space, but in the community too.
We're going to continue to keep an eye on round 1 today during our early evening newscast. And then join us at 7:30 tonight for the Inside the Travelers Championship special, right after our 7 o'clock newscast.
Weather's going to cooperate for the Travelers Championship today, which is good news. Yesterday was a little wet. I do apologize about that. Let's take a look at our Doppler. It is scanning the state dry. It's going to be a pretty good afternoon once the morning fog burns off. Look at Chester. You went from like a mile to 8, so the fog is burning off. Waterbury, you went from 3 to 4, so we're doing better out there this morning. There's that line of showers. Pesky. Ooh, nasty yesterday, but it did bring us some beneficial rain. Now that line is moving back in our direction, but it's going to dissipate as it does, and we're only calling for a chance for an isolated shower later this afternoon through this evening, particularly in western Connecticut. So we'll keep an eye on that. And here's early morning futurecast, tomorrow's weather today. Watch the line move in. This is by noontime today, still at bay, with maybe a dot of green in our state, especially up in northern Connecticut, western Connecticut. Just isolated in nature, and then that line dissipates. Yes, it falls apart as it moves in towards the state. So we'll be under partly sunny skies during the day today. Tonight should be partly to mostly clear. And then tomorrow we start off with fog again. And then once that fog burns off, we're going to be under partly to mostly sunny skies and warmer conditions tomorrow. Just a beautiful skyline in New Haven. You can see the sun making its way through the overcast conditions. The clouds are starting to move out. Windsor Locks, you've got a little bit of overcast conditions there, but the sun is trying to make its way through the cloudy conditions there as well. More of the same in Torrington and more of the same in Waterbury. It looks ominous in Waterbury, right? But don't worry, those clouds will be making a partial departure. 58 degrees right now in Waterbury, about 2 degrees cooler than average. Not a big deal. Stores, good morning to you. You're under partly cloudy skies, if not mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures 60 is the typical overnight low. We're there at Bradley and in Meriden. A little bit better in other parts of the state, a little bit cooler in northwest and northeast Connecticut, but not a big deal. The temperatures are rivaling the dew points. The dew points are rivaling the temperatures, I should say. And as you can see there, it's a little bit muggy out there this morning with a little bit of humidity in the air. We're up a degree or two from where we were 24 hours ago, but not a big deal, and the winds are basically calm. So here's your temperature trend today under partly sunny skies. The numbers move to 75. Now that does fall short of the normal of 82, and we're going to give you more of the same for the immediate shoreline, even cooler there, only in the low 70s. So if you're headed to the beach today, grab a light jacket or a sweatshirt as you're heading out the door. The temperature's there in the upper 60s, low 70s. All right, so once again, there's that line of showers. We're keeping an eye on it for you, but it shouldn't really have too much of an impact on the state during the day today. Good news. Temperatures again in the low to mid 70s, partly sunny with just a chance for an isolated shower. Sun was up at 5:17, sets at 8:29. Tomorrow 83, Saturday 88, Sunday 90. 90 degrees on Sunday with humid conditions both Saturday and Sunday, but it's looking like a pretty good weekend. Now Monday storms roll through in association with a cold front. It'll be humid and a little bit cooler, 80 degrees. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're talking about 78 and 82 degrees with partly to mostly sunny skies. That's a check of your early warning forecast. I'm meteorologist Scott Haney in the Forecast Center. If you need anything, weather3 at WFSB.com. Wendell?
Thank you, Scott. After being pushed back in April, jury selection is actually set to begin in the case of the former state rep, Michael DeMassa, who's accused, along with 4 others, of stealing nearly $1 million in COVID-19 relief money from the city of West Haven. One of the defendants, John Bernardo, pled guilty earlier this month. This morning, Waterbury police have identified a suspect in the shooting of a 2-year-old boy. Take a look at your screen now because police are looking for this man, 20-year-old Carice Samuels. Investigators say he was showing off a gun inside the victim's home in Pinecrest Drive Tuesday when it went off and a bullet struck that toddler in the stomach. That young child is stable in the hospital this morning. Samuels is considered armed and dangerous, and it is not clear right now where he is, but we know he has ties to New York and Florida. And a warning from West Hartford police this morning on a different type of robbery. Officers are asking everyone to be aware of distracted style threats. That's when a group of thieves wait for you to start your car and then try to lure you away from it. This happened to a woman on Tuesday at the Whole Foods parking lot where 2 men used this tactic to steal her wallet. One self-defense expert we spoke with says there are distractions these criminals use that are important to identify.
Someone putting a t-shirt on wrapped around your windshield wiper, and you get out of your vehicle when you walk to the parking lot to see this, and when you do, your car is stolen.
Police say these thieves are usually well-dressed and they target elderly victims, so be aware. We thank you so much for tuning into Eyewitness News. Remember, you can get news and weather updates anytime on the Channel 3 app. We're going to take a live look right now, and we bid you as we take a look at Mystic. Have a great Thursday.